Kingdom Rush is by far one of the best tower defense games ever, maybe even the best. And it being a tower defense game, one of the hardest things to do with it is to rank every single tower from every single game into one big list. But that's what I'm going to do. But of course, this is just going to be my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion and how it is. My opinion is very different from what's most popular in the Kingdom Rush community. Anyway, I'm going to present my list in the usual worst, greatest kind of thing, and it will be in multiple videos since there's a ton of towers, of course, as I said. One last thing to note is that I accidentally miscalculated how many towers there were in the series, and that the towers that I shown in this video, I will say that their rankings are 54, 53, and 52, but really it's 64, 63, 62, but the rest of the towers I got right. Anyway, here's my list of all the towers of the Kingdom Rush series so far, ranked worst to best. Number 54, the Knights Templar. Said that I often disagree on what's generally popular, but this tower is really terrible. To start, the stats are 20 to 30 damage, 275 health, and 60% armor. This is pretty good. 20 to 30 damage is actually good for a barrack. 275 health and 6% armor is pretty good, and so is their cyber ability. At least it would be, but nearly all enemies in Frontiers have some anti-barrack ability, from cannibalism to death auras, and barracks like this one are weak in Frontiers, plus are outclassed by the Necromancer, but more on that way later. Anyway, toughness, their first ability, increases their health to 475 once maxed out, but it needs 200 gold to get, which is a lot. Holy Grail is probably the worst healing ability in the game. It allows them to have a chance to cheat to death. It barely happens, and instead of reviving their whole health, it only revives part of it, which is really disgusting. Artillery, or whatever you call it, Artillery Strike is actually a decent ability, dealing true damage and bleed, but most of the damage is bleed, so the enemy is still alive and therefore still a threat, and the Knights Templar are usually killed in seconds anyway, so they never get to use this. And as the footage shows, the Knights Templar are terrible in-game, though they would be a little, keyword on little, better in the other games, but they're stuck in Frontiers unless you're a Steam player and have the All Towers mod. Never use this tower unless you're doing a challenge or want to fail. Number 53, the Shadow Archer. The Shadow Archer went from being a dangerous enemy, a bad tower, and the best reinforcements ever, but we'll be focusing on the bad tower form. Its stats are 26 to 39 damage, a fast attack speed, and a great range. This is actually pretty good, like the Knights Templar, though the damage will be heavily negated by armor. Blades of the Nice, the first Shadow Archer skill, and its instant kill, is the best thing the Shadow Archer has to offer, but it has a big cooldown, and instant kills are less useful in Vengeance anyway, but they're still useful. And Shadow Mark is good, making the target suffer double damage, but it only lasts for 5 seconds on an 18-second cooldown, so Crow's Nest is one of the worst abilities in the series, dealing only 4 damage. Anyway, in gameplay they don't do much, but unlike the Knights Templar, the Shadow Archers are playable, although barely.
Trust Shadow. I am the sword in the dark. Never trust your shadow.
Into the wild.
Number 52, the Archhenge Druid. Their stats are great range, an average speed, and 33 to 56 damage. Now, 33 to 56 is bad for artillery. Especially bad because it's literally the exact same thing as a level 3 druid. But it's supposed to make up for it for the fact that it's faster and while idle, it recharges. There are just 3 boulders there's 3 extra boulders. Well, this does provide some more attack. 3 boulders can be wasted if a single enemy walks in, which is bad. Its abilities are first, Sylvan Curse. It lasts basically it affects an enemy, and if the enemy takes damage, then all enemies near it will share that damage for 5 seconds. It has on a 16-second cooldown and costs 250 gold to upgrade once. And it to be cleared up, you can upgrade it 3 times. Its second ability, Rune Bears. The Rune Bear's health is 200. And they regain 25 health per second. They have a 20 to 40 attack and 20% armor. And they have a 20-second respawn time, but they cost 350 gold each, which is insane. Seriously, they're not even that good for what it does. Never use this ability, just never. Well, unless you're doing like an all agility challenge or something like that. Anyway, their gameplay how they work in gameplay is terrible. Use the other options.